What is up, guys? This is Nagman back with a video that is way long overdue, but I still wanted to come back, post an update on my $100,000 portfolio, which is, as you can see, around a little bit over $124,000. We are chugging along year to date. We are at almost 24%. And we, last I checked, still have about a 10% lead on SPY. So we are going to continue going at it, keeping that lead, increasing that lead, and hitting new all time highs, guys. That's the goal of the game, right? So let's get into some of our plays for this week. Before I start to even get into the plays, let me give you an overview of what I do. I use my account to sell options that could be either selling cash secured puts or selling covered calls on the holdings that I already have to generate premium, which I collect and buy more assets with it. And that way I compound and compound and I compound. So going back into the plays. We got one, two, three, four main plays. One at the very bottom being Riot. That's been around for a really long time now. Um, I'm just kind of writing it out. I got 92% profit on this guy. It doesn't expire until January of next year, but I don't know. It's like $800 collateral. I don't know what I'm going to do with that if I do need to buy it back for $16. I will. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm going to do with this one. Going back to the main plays, we collected about close to $700. Actually, $697 to be exact. Um, I had sold a Target $88 put. For how much was that? $127. So collected $127. I mean, down a little bit, but we'll see. If I get assigned, I get assigned. I'm actually okay with owning Target at that price. Chipotle. This is actually the very first time I've ever uh even looking into this stock, but I do like that the restaurant. I do like the product. I go there all the time relative to comparing it to other options that are out there, Pancheros or Moe's, or I don't know what, I don't even know what else is out there, but I prefer Chipotle. And you know investing doesn't have to be complicated. This is simple. Own what you use, own who you pay. If you like to pay something, it's maybe worth owning. I mean, it's not always true, but generally it holds pretty true. And Chipotle is pretty beaten down um, over the year, year to date, going 1 year back, 5 year. Yeah, it's pretty beaten down. That was at a high of $65, down to like a little bit less than $40 right now. But yeah, I sold two contracts for Chipotle. Collected $61 per contract, so $122 in total. AMD, this was a roll from a previous week, which even though I guess this contract was $451, but the net difference that I collected was 295. And going last one into Google, this one, man, hurts a lot because I was holding this position for a long time, and then I finally decided to sell a covered call when Google went started to inch closer to 240, and I chose to stick with that. And then yeah, this past week Google just blew out of the water. So I rolled this one out from my initial position for to $153. I want to be a little bit patient with it. We'll see what actually happens there. to show you the everything that I had collected. So going back, yep. So as I was saying, the Google was a roll from previous week, collected $153 worth of difference there. AMD was a roll, collected $295 there. Chipotle, $122 altogether for the two contracts, and Target $127. So guys, that's my option plays going into the next week. Still have um, about 15 to 20% cash in reserve in case we need to deploy that. We'll see what goes on there. UPS, we're still holding on to this. We're down 17%. It right now, it's really not worth it to sell covered calls on this. It's down so much, and because it's not a high volatility stock, I'm not going to get much juice out of it. So I think at this point, I'm just going to hold it, collect dividends for as long as those are unaffected, and we'll evaluate this in a couple months to see what to do with that. And same thing for PayPal. It's been trading in a range for a while now. I've been, selling covered calls on the pops, and as it falls lower, I'm selling cash secured puts on lower strikes. Because if I can get PayPal at lower prices, that would be awesome. So if I was selling covered calls on UPS and PayPal, um, I guess I could have extracted an extra anywhere between $50 to $60 combined, with giving it some room to move. But I really, it was a good week. I collected almost $700. Collecting another 50, I feel like that would have been just kind of forcing it. So I'm just kind of going by flow. We'll see what happens. But otherwise, we got Google, UPS, PayPal, AMD, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, AbbVie, a couple ETFs in SCHG, SCHD, VTI, VGT, and then we got the Brazilian fintech StoneCo. That has actually been on a tear. I was actually a bag holder for this for a really long time, but this year it has just blown the F up, man. And as I was like slowly buying this, and I'm finally in the positive, and I'm not accumulating any more shares. So we'll see where this goes. Back when interest rates were still low in the world, this hit a high of $92. So let's see if we can ever get back to that peak again. But it's a pretty big player in the South American market, and I think it is Buffett backed, or at least it was Buffett backed at one point. I don't know if it still is, but I still like the company, still holding it, still waiting for the economic turnaround in the world for that to actually start benefiting and shoot right back up. And what you see below StoneCo are mistakes. You have Snap, Clover, health insurance, Snap being Snapchat, not Snap on the tools maker, Verizon, and IVR. I guess the good thing here is that I don't have too much sunk into these positions, but I still like to hold them just to, keep that as a reminder for, mistakes not to make in the future. But that is it, guys. This is all I got. This is my portfolio. As I said, I sell options, I collect premium, reinvest those back along with my dividends, and keep compounding this portfolio. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the content and you watched up until this point, thank you so much. I would also appreciate it if you liked the video and also subscribe to the channel. So, if you did all three of those, I love you. And I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.